So welcome to another one of my weekly gear recommendation videos. These are not sponsored videos. No one has given me this gear. This is all gear that I've purchased myself. This is my opinion, and I only review gear that I have found to be useful for me in my day-to-day process. So today we're going to talk about this little piece here. So this is by Ulanzi. And this is well, I'm going to give you the technical name for it as they call it on Amazon, and then we will actually look at it in detail. So on Amazon, this is referred to as the Ulanzi F38 camera quick release plate with 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch screw thread, which is quite the mouthful and maybe not the most helpful description. So this is a quick release system that can be attached to a variety of different mounts and accommodate a wide variety of gear. So this comes in two different pieces, and we're going to talk about each piece individually. So we're going to start with this. This is the more substantial piece. This is the quick release base mount, and this is what holds this other piece, the quick release plate. So this mount basically consists of a button here, this little silver button right here. Let's move that out of the way. And by depressing this button, those pins on the inside of the mount release or lock. Depress the button, the pins release the button, the pins lock. This basically locks the quick release plate in place and prevents it from falling out. On the back side of the mount, there are these two screws which do not move, but they essentially form the lock that prevents the plate from falling out the back side. In addition, this little metal button here can be rotated by pulling first and then turning, and then it locks. Once it's turned like this, you can no longer press the button and move the locking pins. In order to do that, you have to lift this, turn it, and now those pins will move again. So this is essentially how you lock the plate in place. Additionally, this mount comes with an adapter that will let you accommodate either 3/8 inch screws or 1/4 inch screws depending on your need. You simply rotate out this silver insert here, which is the actual adapter. It's pretty easy to take out. So you basically have an adapter piece that goes into the mounting hole. Once this is taken out, you can now use a 3/8 inch screw instead of a 1/4 inch screw. And let's just show that here. So here I have the bottom part of a tripod that uses a 3/8 inch screw to mount the ball head. But what we're going to do instead is use that screw to mount this quick release plate. And you can see it just screws right on there instead of a ball head. If you wanted to mount it to a 1/4 inch screw, you would instead put the adapter into the mount, and then you would take, in this case, this vlogging grip, which does use a 1/4 inch screw, and you would just mount it here. So with this one mount, we can attach to either a 3/8 inch screw or a 1/4 inch screw. So now we are going to look at the other side of the product, which is the quick release plate, which is what attaches both to your gear and to the mount. So the quick release plate consists of a screw, 1/4 inch screw, that will let you mount any device that also has a 1/4 inch mount point. And you can see it has the flathead groove, which allows you to use the flathead to tighten it. And additionally, the screw itself has a slot in which it can slide back and forth, which allows you to offset your mount point and position your gear in whatever way works best. And here we have a textured rubber surface which prevents slippage. So that's basically what we're looking at with these two parts here. And what we'll do now is just show them in practical usage just to get a sense of how they operate. So the first thing we'll do is just mount the quick release base mount to this grip, which is what we had before, but we'll just do it again so we can show the whole process. So we're just attaching this, and now we have the base mount attached to the grip. And again, push on the button here on the side. These pins move and lock and unlock the plate, and these little screws in the back prevent it from sliding out. So you have to put the plate in from this side. It will not go in from this side because these little screws are going to block it. So what we'll do now is put that aside, and we will take our quick release plate and we will attach it to this camera here. So this is just a small rig cage which has a bunch of mounting points, 1/4 inch, and we're just going to attach it right here. And again, we will use a screwdriver just to tighten it down so it doesn't fly all over the place. So I'll just use this tool and we'll tie it down here. All right, so now we have our plate attached to our camera, and we have our mount attached to the grip. So now it's a simple matter of taking your grip, making sure you're orientated in the right way. Again, these little screws have to be on the back side, and then you just depress the button, and that will move the pins, and once the pins are unlocked, then you just slide it in, and it's just that easy. And now you have this camera attached to my grip. No screwing, no unscrewing, no spinning things around. It's just a much easier, much simpler process. And then the really nice thing is that we have the camera attached to the grip, but let's say now we want to put it on a tripod because we've stopped walking and we're now looking out at a vista that we want to capture. So now we're going to pull out a tripod. So I'm going to take this small rig tripod, which is the one that had the 3/8 inch screw, and we're just going to reassemble it. And we'll just pull the legs out here. So we're setting up for our other shoot with our tripod. Now this tripod comes with its own plate. Right? So normally you would attach this plate to the camera, and then you could just mount this plate right into the tripod. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this plate, because what we can do now is we can simply release, quick release, the Ulanzi plate from the grip. So the Ulanzi plate is still on here. So what we can do now is just take the camera with the Ulanzi quick release plate already attached, and we just open up the mount on the tripod, and then we close it down. And now we have our tripod with the camera securely mounted. And then when we're done, it's time to go walking again. We just release the quick release plate, go back here, depress the button, make sure we're coming in from the correct side, and there we go. We've got our camera, and we're off and running again. And it's important to note here that this is not just for use with cameras. You can use this with lights, you can use this with microphones, you can use this with monitors, you can use this with anything that has that 1/4 inch mounting point that you can put the plate on. As long as it has a 1/4 inch mount point, you can put the plate on it, and you can attach the plate to your other mount. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I use it for most commonly, in addition to the switching of the mounts here, we're just going to move a few things out of the way, and I'm going to release or take off. And it's always great to have a few of these, because the more you have, the less you have to do of this stuff, which is switching your quick release mount off of different mounts. So this is what I use the quick release mount on a lot, are these small rig friction arms. And they basically have a 1/4-inch screw at either end. And what I do is I just screw the mount onto the friction arm and just tighten everything up so it doesn't go anywhere. And then you can just take your camera or your light or your microphone or your monitor, and again, the same process. You just press the button, the pins release, mount your camera, let go of the silver button, pins lock. Now you have your camera mounted to your small rig friction arm, which you can then mount to your desk. You can mount it to your furniture. You can mount it to your own camera rig, your gimbal. I use these arms all the time to build my portable setups and to be able to attach and detach cameras and lights so easily as I can do with these quick release plates. Again, just makes my process much more streamlined. And again, just to point out, if you don't have it, then basically what you're doing is you're just spinning and spinning and spinning the camera onto your, you can still mount your camera on here, but you've just got to do a lot of turning and spinning. And it is a lot harder to turn a heavy camera on a little thing like this than it is just to spin down the quick release plate and then mount your camera. So much easier. If you're not somebody who does a lot of mounting and dismounting of things, then you'll probably find minimal value in this particular product. But for myself, I spend so much time putting cameras on tripods, taking them off of tripods, putting them on arms, taking them off arms, putting them on vlogging grips, taking them off vlogging grips, that for me, it's an invaluable piece of kit. So these little plates are not terribly expensive. I believe they're $35 on Amazon. So I hope this gear recommendation has been of use to you. I'm just trying to pass on some of my knowledge, my experience of the products that I've used. So thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.